This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends, rested, feeling great, back from Italy.
Ciao, ciao.
I love that country. It's something I wanted to do. That's all I said, yeah. Anything has a vowel at the end of it, I said it like that. So to keep that. Some tips if you go to Rome or any of the big cities or whatever, and you take the bus and you don't buy the tickets, you make sure, they'll take your phone, like they'll have like one of those little kiosks thing, you just go up there like you would like checking out somewhere. You can do that. However, what they do is they charge you at the end of the day. So you can use it like every time you go on a bus, do it, and then they'll only charge you up to a certain amount. And then that way, like if you go over that amount, you won't, because they want people to use public transit. Sure. So I would go up there and do it, and then nothing would happen. So this is how I found out that was the case. When the police officer asked me for my ticket, and I said, I don't have one. And he goes, well, you're getting a ticket, a fine. I got a $50 fine. What? For me and Liza, because we were thinking it was their national, federal Freedom Day or whatever. Yeah. And so we're thinking, well, I guess they're not charging us, so I guess it's free.
Like here in America, you don't have to pay the parking meters in some places,
days, right,
on holidays.
That's what I'm thinking, not the case. And so they're like, no, you go up and you tap. And I go, yeah, but it doesn't say anything. You just tap and it's fine. And what they do is it won't show up on your phone. They'll have a machine and you do it to theirs and it'll show that you checked in, basically. Oh. We found that out too late, as I said. $100 later, we found that out. And as far as signage goes, there is none at all. And
it's true.
It is very difficult to get around. No, I'm not complaining about the city. You just got to plan out your day. Nevertheless, that was my tip. Second thing is take a water bottle where you're at, because there's free water everywhere and delicious water. Delicious. Not only that, James, they have regular tap water, but mineral water, just as cold. And you can put a 2-liter bottle up there and fill it up. And we were drinking so much mineral water.
And they always ask you flat or sparkling.
Flat or sparkling, yes.
Yeah, which is kind of something you get used to. And were you always serve limoncello right before your meal in some places?
Well, I don't drink, but that's true. There was one place where they did offer that sort of thing. I let Liza have it. Another thing is, and we need to do this in America, is that when you get these bottles, the caps, because when we talk about recycling, they say, you throw this away, this is just now trash. You can't recycle these. But when you take it off, the cap always stays with it.
Oh, okay.
Why aren't we doing this in America? It makes, and so that, you're not losing, their cap is always there. Yeah. And I know that's something very small. Can I have a swig of this?
Yeah, sure.
Something so small, but it's like those things that we don't see that make sense. And when you recycle this, then the cap's still on it, which they say, keep the cap on when you recycle the bottle.
I wonder, there were no Ubers?
No, there was. Okay, I'm glad you said that. So they don't like Uber. They want you to use their taxis. Okay. And so we went to go and tried to do the Uber, and nobody would come until we did the second tier up.
Like the black card,
the very, very black one, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And then we finally got somebody coming through. But what they do is, if you do go to Uber, they'll basically connect you to a taxi driver.
Yeah, so because they have deals.
It's just a taxi driver, so you might as well go on and get in your taxi. Make sure you check, by the way, your cell phone service, because we are now so used to trying to hail a cab and the thing. If you don't have a good service, it might take a long time. So make sure you get that international. Those are the tips that I say.
Good tips,
I like
just those small little things.
Yeah.
Would you now, knowing this, would you have hired a driver next time? Next time?
Not in Venice, because Venice was a walking city, but Rome, we walked everywhere for the most part. But like when we went to the Colosseum, we wound up walking. And it was really popular, the bird scooters and bikes. So there was lots of those. Okay. And they had some of the streets shut down because of the celebrations. So, we could ride on the middle of the street. So that was our timing for the vacation.
Okay.
That's a little stuff there. But I missed you guys.
We missed you too.
Yeah, I missed you too, man.
I bet you missed the question of the day.
I'm wondering what it was.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the little lighter.
Oh, your lighter. You light up my
Lighter
lighter.
that Mitch brought James back from Italy is quite creative.
You'll always remember
You'll
it.
see it tomorrow. All right, a question of the day. Let's get to it. What dream would you chase today?
You know, we could still do it no matter what. I
Yeah.
think our only limitations and dreams are what we put upon ourselves.
Absolutely.
I sometimes think, you know, life gets in the way a lot of times, and you
Yeah.
think you can't do certain things. But then you hear stories of people that didn't find success until they were like in their 40s or 50s. I think it would be, and your priorities change
Yeah.
too a lot as well. I think the pursuit of happiness is a big dream. Everybody goes after.
Yeah.
But I think maybe learning to play the piano would have been one. Even though I
wow.
took lessons,
one.
because that's always
Yeah.
something you can sit down. They say it's also the bass. So that would be
Yeah.
my dream, is be a fabulous piano player.
Oh, that's a good one. I might have taken a different route and become a movie or TV director.
Really?
Oh,
You'd be
yeah.
good at that. No, you would.
I always think like, I wonder if I would have gone down that path.
You're good at it because you know you tell people what you want, and you know in a way that's like, listen, this is how I want to do it. And
Yeah.
me, I think I want to be Mr. Nice Guy, but and not get what I want sometimes. But I think you're really good at it.
That was a nice way of telling.
No, that's not true. I knew you would think it that way. That's not what I meant. It's like you have a vision,
Yes.
and you have it done. You're like my sister,
Yeah.
Literally like my
Well,
actual sister.
and I watch so many like movies and TV shows. I feel like visually, or maybe writing a script. I don't know. We'll see. There's still some time.
James?
You still got some time for
James.
that. For me, honestly, it's I don't know. I always say weird, but it's not weird. I think I would have went into hospitality a little bit earlier to buy and start my own resorts.
Really?
resort.
James World, I'd go there.
James World.
Yeah.
Yes.
We do stuff across the globe. and
Alexander
having-
the Great.
Yeah.
Well, you're at now. You probably have the smarts and know-how. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
know.
now
I
resources,
definitely have
right?
all of it. I just don't have the degree for hospitality, but everything
I don't
else
think
I
you
know.
need it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust
I
me.
have some good partners out
I've stayed
there.
in a lot of Airbnbs that they have no idea.
don't need a
about-
degree for that.
about- You're well
Is it
above
cleaning
them.
fees.
Yeah. All right. Let us know your dream. What would you chase today if you had the opportunity? DailyFlashShow.com. New York City single ladies are demanding men send car services for dates, or it's a no-go, sparking a massive gender war online. Take a listen.
One of my rules, if a man doesn't at least offer to send you a car for the date, whether you take it or not, no date, okay? And he had not mentioned anything about a car. And to be honest, if the weather was beautiful, sometimes I would rather take the subway to do a little walk to the station, all that. So he said, see you in a few hours. I said, sounds good. Are you gonna send me a car or make me take the train in the rain? And he goes, ha ha, see you at 7:30. I said, no, thank you. And he said, okay, I'll cancel the res. And I liked it.
And must at least offer to send a car service to pick them up, especially in bad weather or when dressed up, or the date is totally canceled. Pagnosi shared how she bailed on the guy who refused on a rainy night, calling it her bare minimum. Cue the debates with men calling it entitled, women supporting it as a sign of respect. It adds, though, to other dating divides like bill splitting, highlighting current tensions in the singles scene. Your reaction, guys?
45% of women by 2030 will be single.
Oh,
The delusion is at an all-time high. She's very delusional, and if it's those little things that, puts you off, then, hey, enjoy the kitty litter and
I
the
think
cat products and all that stuff you're gonna need, so you won't, because you're gonna be very lonely and single.
I think she did him a great favor.
Yes,
because
she
she
did.
said everything about who she is
Of
to
course.
him. And maybe also asking. She said, "Are you going to send me a ride?" I mean, he thought it was a joke. It sounds like.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that she might have asked. I think I would have gone to her. And find something in her area, but that just doesn't seem like the case. When you don't know what the person is, really what they put on a value of as far as being a gentleman these days, and a lot is now being put on the man. I'm sorry that we're the ones that make the decision. if you're going to get where
married.
you're going to go to eat and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
and then you complain about it.
I do think it's very confusing for men because they're not quite
Confusing, thank you,
sure,
yeah.
you know, do you want me to be a man? Do you want me to make these decisions? Do you want me to direct this? Or if I do that, are you going to be offended by the fact that I'm taking charge? And I think it's terribly confusing. I feel bad for guys. I can see her point, you know, be a gentleman offer,
I agree.
especially in bad weather. But I think that entitlement is
That's
the
true.
problem.
That's true. You know where you don't have that entitlement?
Where's that?
In Italy and overseas. Go passport, bro.
Hey,
Yes.
Rosemary Olander is going to be talking about her Father's Day wisdom. Before we go to break, here is our brain flash question of the day. What is the capital of Australia? We have the answer when we return. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson here. Before we went to break, we left you with the brain flash question of the day. What is the capital of Australia? We heard you yell out answers, but did you say Canberra? I'm going to be honest with you, I did not realize that until just now. Interesting stuff there. Well, welcome back to the big show. Father's Day, it's this weekend. It's a great time really to reflect on the wisdom, the life lessons, and the love that fathers give to their kids. Our next guest, Rosemary Olander, shares these sentiments in her book, Coffee and Wisdom, based on the life lessons her father gave her over countless cups of coffee. She joins us now. Rosemary, welcome back to Daily Flash. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. How are you?
I am super fantastic. I remember when we talked last time, you had so much great things to say about your father. And since this is Father's Day weekend, it made sense to have you back here. You said even the last time we spoke that your father was always consistent basically in his core values. Talk about why that was important maybe to you and how it should be important to fathers as well as kids.
Well, when you talk about being consistency, he was a man who walked the talk. He didn't just tell us what to do, he showed us how to do it, and he discussed with us what we did correct and what we could have done better throughout our lives. So he obviously had a very clear internal compass of who he was, and he didn't veer off of that. I mean, everybody who knew my father and talked about him later talked about the same man. And I've said before, you know, my sister is 13 years younger than me, and my father being that much older when he was raising her, because I went to college the day she went to kindergarten, he was the same man. He was the same man to her. And we laugh about that and we talk about that and say, yeah, he was so practiced in his values and what he showed his customers, what he showed family, what he showed friends. He was a real believer that anybody can do something right once, but in order to develop it and have it become part of your character, it had to be something that you adhered to consistently. So I could count on my dad. I could count on what I assumed his reaction would be. And my sister and I talked about that. Were we ever surprised by a reaction he had? We pretty much could guarantee what he was going to do based on his character. And he was very willing to accept short-term discomfort to do the right thing.
All right, you know, that's virtues that, you know, wish more humans these days actually would take a hold of. You also had mentioned in your book that a great piece of advice that your dad has given you is that holding a grudge just kind of holds you down. And this sounds like, you know, these are things that we should know, but how important was that for you? And explain that a little bit.
Okay, well, my father talked about the fact that you carry with you your experiences. If you choose to carry the negative experiences with you, let's say you're angry with somebody, they've done something, and you have a grudge against them. You're carrying that with you. It doesn't hurt the other person.
Right.
They go on with their life. You're carrying that inside of you, and the weight becomes heavy. And you can see people that are carrying grudges or are very unhappy. They're just weighted down with all those experiences. And he felt that holding a grudge and carrying negativity just steals your freedom. You remain emotionally tied to that event, and you allow that person or that incident to hurt you again and again and again. Why would you want to do that?
That makes complete sense.
Why would you want to do that?
You know, forgiveness.
It weighs down your heart, you know?
Yeah, and I think it goes along the lines of what I think about forgiveness is that it's really for you. It's not for the other person. It's for you just to let that go, take that albatross off, and just fly as high as you can. Another important thing that I really appreciate about what you speak of in this book, because I've believed this wholeheartedly, is finding humor in tough situations, and even in like situations that maybe that you feel like there shouldn't be humor in. How important is that?
I think it's critical. I think it's critical. My dad felt it was critical, and he would, again, find humor in so many situations. You know, Mel Brooks said that humor is just another defense against the universe.
Amen.
And my father believed that. And, you know, he demonstrated that in a lot of different ways. One time, my sister, just as an example, my sister was going out and she needed some money to go out with her friend. She was in high school. And she's on the way out the door, she said, "Dad, I don't have any money. Can I borrow some money from you so that I can go and meet up with my friends?" And he said, "Sure." And he handed her a $20 bill. As she was getting to the door, he's waving. And she said, "Why are you waving to me? I'm coming back." He said, "No, I'm waving to my $20 because I know I'm never going to see you." You know, that was the kind of man he was. He would laugh. You know, he laughed when he almost fell off a roof one time. And my uncle was screaming, grab the ladder," because they were installing antennas. And my father was laughing, and he caught himself and he didn't fall. And my uncle, when he got down, my uncle was like, "How could you possibly laugh at that?" And my father was like, "I was laughing at you. I was laughing at your face. I was laughing at you jumping up and down. I knew I could, I hoped I could grab the ladder and stop myself, but I was more interested in what was happening." So that's just the kind of guy he was. When we had terrible things happen to us, he'd say, you know, negative things are an opportunity if you look at them the right way, and having humor allows you to reset, pause, and think about, okay, what can I do differently? How can I make this work out to my benefit?
You know, there's a
So
lot
humor
of
was
that.
a huge part of our life.
It really is, and what it does is it breaks up your thought process. You know, you're upset, you're sad or whatever. You throw humor in it, and it just takes you to a trajectory that's completely different. So, kudos to your dad, and kudos for you for putting this all into a book. And if folks at home want to get more information on Rosemary's book, it's called Coffee and Wisdom. You can check out her website. It is rosemaryolander.com. Don't worry if you didn't get to write this down. We have it on our website at dailyflashshow.com. We'll also post this interview there as well. Stick around. We got more of today's talk, tomorrow's trends, right here on Daily Flash. Well, a recently discovered dusty stack of 1994 World Cup tickets is serving as a pretty much unexpected reminder of how the price to attend soccer's biggest spectacle has dramatically exploded over the last 3 decades. 32 years ago, fans could actually watch some of the world's best team compete for as little as $45. Today, depending on the match, soccer aficionados likely need about several $100 just to get through the gates. And for the 2026 final at FIFA's highest priced tickets, they've climbed up to an eye-watering $32,970. To add insult to injury, a man, he attended a match back in 1994. He paid only $10 just to park outside the stadium. And today, that's going to cost you about $50 to $60 because they realize people are there, people are going to spend the money. Another big problem they're having is the stadiums. Stadiums are named by corporate sponsors, and FIFA has this thing that says you can't. It's what they call clean stadiums. Unless you're a sponsor, you can't have anybody else. So Levi's, AT&T, they had to put a cover over it. Levi's did the smart thing, and they changed their social media screen.
Handle.
Not their handle, but their picture.
Screen. Okay.
As
cover photo.
The cover photo, thank you. As what it looks like on the Levi Stadium. And so it's just white.
That's hysterical.
With everybody knows what the Levi logo looks like. But hey, that's part of the deal. They know that they can bring it into these cities, and the cities will do whatever it takes to get the world to look at the soccer competition.
There's been some great stories so far coming out of the World Cup. Several foreign tourists are delighting in what America has to offer. There's a guy named Freddie on X. I don't know if you're following him, but you should. He's got Bass Pro Shops, Waffle House. He's a Buc-ee's. They are enamored with a gas station called Buc-ee's. So they have a great appreciation for what we consider just sort of roadside staples.
The things that we're so used to.
Yes.
I wanted to mention about the Buc-ee's. There are they'll take buses. $20 will take you from the stadium to the Buc-ee's.
No.
Just to the Buc-ee's for $20.
Yeah.
Because it is something.
Yes.
To see. It's a gas station.
It's a gas
But
station.
when it comes down to it, it's really just a Walmart with gas station pumps.
I
That's all
know.
it is.
There's another gal from Sweden who says she could not get enough of the ranch dressing. She's like, why don't we have this in Europe? The ranch. She was obsessed with ranch dressing.
And
it's probably a good thing you don't have it over there.
actually, yeah. And you think like, what are they thinking when they come over here and they see all this excess?
Yeah.
And then you go to their grocery stores that are smaller than most closets
Yes.
sometimes, or
Yes.
even like the bakery department in some stores. And you realize or Costco. I thought about
Yes.
that. Costco. Like, what do they think about Costco?
Oh my God. Well, and then there was another video I saw the other day. The Japanese were picking up trash in the stadium, the fans, to make sure they left it cleaner than they found it.
See,
and they
we
did
need
the
that.
split screen between Knicks fans destroying the city and these beautiful Japanese folks fans that were actually cleaning up their trash before they left.
Thank you for reminding us that we need to be better citizens.
Yes,
by all
exactly.
means.
CBS News reporter Leslie Stahl has signed a new 2-year contract and will stay with 60 Minutes for at least the next couple of years. She's 84. She just finalized the deal a few days after she and fellow correspondents announced in a joint memo that they would remain at 60 Minutes despite expressing their anger after several controversial figures were ousted from the program. The contract also marked a significant win for CBS News as it attempts to overhaul the show after being plagued by inaccuracies and biased reporting. I found this whole story kind of unreal with a couple of the older reporters that have decided to stay. It's almost like, well, we're doing you a favor by staying and you must play by our rules. I think they've forgotten, and I think Scott Paley too to some degree, forgot that they were employees of CBS. They're not running the network.
Yeah, and there is, because they are the faces, they think
Yes.
that they're, in a sense, I can understand that. But on the same token, they have to understand that they were the new people at one time as well, and they probably don't have forgotten that way of reporting has changed from back the way it was back then as well. And also too, and was overshadowed, the whole Pelly being fired, of the inaccuracies and the problems and the editing and the bias that had been coming down. That is kind of being swept under. But there was a reason going on. And then in what world where you can say your boss that you're destroying the show and then expect that you still have a job? Referring to Scott Pelly. And adding on another 2 years kind of tells you maybe they weren't really behind Pelly as much as they wanted to, and was more of a front that were on, which I'm sure they're all friends and that sort of thing. And from what I'm hearing, Pelly wasn't the easiest guy to get along with.
No, and that's interesting. All that stuff starts to come out afterward. And the guy that's running 60 Minutes now said, he sent a letter to him saying, I've extended an olive branch to you from day one to try and get you to come meet me. Let's go have lunch. Let's discuss your ideas. And he completely blew him off and then decided to blow up the entire meeting when they finally had a group meeting for the show. And I was like, that's completely unprofessional.
When I had read about that, too, they actually did that in the termination letter that got released saying, hey, I invited you out. I would like to hear, and you wanted, which says everything. Says, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm going to do it my way because you don't know what you're doing. And it's unfortunate because no matter, you got to swallow some of that pride. And now
I think that's the issue people have with mainstream media now. It's like they're kind of this elitist form of reporting, like you either believe me or your opinion is stupid.
Yeah. What do you think? We want to hear from you. Flash at dailyflashshow.com. We have more Flash coming up. Stick around. We love having you along right here on the show.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with James Alexander.
Check in with me because we're about to go to a special place today. 219 stations across the country is where you find us. You go to our website at dailyflashshow.com and click on where to watch. You can find out where we are in your neck of the woods. And, we're on something called American Forces Network. We can find us across the globe. Now, today, our local friend comes from Money is a Major Issue, Miami, Florida.
Oh, that's what the word. Oh, I just got that. Money, M-I-A. I got it right when you said it.
It took me a second.
Right. It's WBEH TV out of Miami, Florida.
Miami.
Miami's song should be "I Am Every Woman" because it was started by a woman, Miss Julia Tuttle. Excuse me, it was founded by a woman, Julia Tuttle, in 1896. Now,
Julia.
she is known as the mother of Miami because she convinced railroad tycoon Henry Flagler
Flagler
County,
County.
so on, so
Yeah,
to
that's a big name
extend
for
his
it.
railway south, leading to the city's
To bring it down there.
Yeah.
It's like Sunreal all over again.
It is. You think by now they would have that down pat, right?
Right,
What's
right.
the
Trains
train
that
that
leaves
leaves here and goes down to Miami?
Yeah,
it's
Brightline.
It's Brightline,
thank
Brightline,
you.
yeah.
And they're having a hard
Yeah.
time with people crashing into those
Yeah,
things.
That's true.
it's craziness.
By all means, well, luckily we have transportation to where we can go. There's some research out here that is saying the way we walk is very typical. A lot of times on AI recognition, we think we're going to hide our face, we're going to hide maybe features of our or whatever.
Yeah.
But your walk and your
gait.
gait actually has an identifying gait. Everybody has their
Really?
own gait. So they did some research on this, and researchers in Japan and Spain got together, and they wanted to see how people talk. We tend to walk to the left as humans. And
Really?
it's just something that is inside of us. Now, think about when you're in the middle of a desert, or if you've ever seen somebody in a desert. You can, even if you follow the sun, if you have a bum leg, you eventually will start veering off to a different direction depending on
my
what that leg is.
gosh, yeah.
So they're doing all this research, and they believe that these subtle differences is basically how our brains and our bodies process the movement that we have all together. And they're believing that once we discover even more about your walk,
Right.
how much more identifiable will AI be able to find out who you are? So you could have a mask on, you can have a fat suit on, but the way you walk is if they can match.
Is it almost
altogether.
like a thumbprint? It's unique to every single person?
They're trying to get it to where it's
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
But that's something you don't really think about because
Wow.
everybody has a walk. James has a swagger.
Yes, you both have swaggers. Yes. Think about John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever.
There
Talk
you go.
about a walk, and
That
that's
was a walk.
identifiable.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that,
Myth
man.
is
Yeah.
it,
Wow.
So there's lots of things you try to think about.
I try to walk bow-legged now so I can switch it up.
Well, if you watch any true crime, which I love to watch me some good true crime, oftentimes if there's like a footprint left behind or they're looking
Oh,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
can tell by a certain pattern or a wear on a shoe, like, okay, this person's left-handed or right-handed, or it had he walked with a limp, or it was a bum leg, or whatever it was. But it is fascinating when they do a deep dive into stuff like that.
They say that translates all the way through other muscles of your body, and handwriting analysis can also tell if you've had leg damage, like if you hurt your knee for some reason. There's so much. That's why I find those FBI profilers that can tell if people are lying or not are just very fascinating
Yeah.
to me.
I always think about. I thought you were gonna say right because whenever you go into a store, you're always going right.
That's a good point.
Because,
Yeah.
You start off and you go
Just like
right
a UPS
around.
drivers, they always
You
turn
always
right.
It's true. So it's very weird when you
NASCAR
see
always
somebody
do
go
that.
left
Left.
because left is where the cash registers are and so on and so forth.
That
But
is-
when you go right, you're going right around the store.
But they
and you're coming
direct
back
you
in.
to go right, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
But most of the time when you go into buildings, you're constantly going right.
I didn't think
That's a very good point. No,
That's why I thought you were
I'm,
gonna say,
I'm
yeah.
thinking well, maybe that changes something in your brain as far as like shopping because you're not doing it, So now you're more aware. Maybe it could be, I don't know. Hey, coming up, we're talking to Dr. Frank. Father's Day's around the corner. He's got some gadgets.
Oh, we've got a must-watch movie, Ride or Die. We're going to show you a sneak peek coming up. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends, right here on Daily Flash.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Being a dad has a lot of great benefits, one of which is getting cool stuff for Father's Day. And if it's tech that you need, we got the top tech guy of them all and all of cool tech. It's gadgets and a whole lot more. Dr. Frank Vigiano. Hey there, Dr. Frank.
Hey, Mitch, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic. Happy Father's Day to you. You're like my gadget father and my TV father, okay?
I love that, man. Yeah, that's great.
All right, now listen, we want to make sure dads are all taken care of. It's also, we have some graduates out there as well. You got a laptop that's going to knock the socks off of everybody. Tell us about it.
Absolutely, yes. It's by LG. It's called the Gram. It's their Pro AI laptop. Mitch, this is amazing. Dads, grads, all of us want a great laptop. It weighs just 3 pounds and is super slim. Choose from an array of sizes and specs Some have OLED screens, which are just dynamic. They're amazing. It features an Intel Core 7 processor for better performance on the go. You can enjoy up to 25 and a half hours of video playback. You imagine that? 25 and a half
Wow.
hours? Yeah, with great refresh rates. AI combines on-device and cloud-based capabilities. Link it all, sync it on any operating system. It provides a full suite of ports like Thunderbolt 4, USB, and HDMI. It's praised, Mitch, for its lightweight design, display quality, and reliability. To learn more, visit LG.com.
Man, that is a sharp-looking laptop, easy to get around as well. All right, now listen, I love to get out. I want to make the house look fantastic. One of the biggest things people forget about is getting that driveway looking nice and beautiful. You got a pressure washer that I need to get in my house. Tell me about this.
Oh yeah. Well, this is Karcher. I've been looking and basically testing Karcher for decades. This is the K3000E pressure washer. Mitch is the most powerful pressure washer that Karcher's ever introduced in the United States. With 3,000 PSI, the K3000E is the ultimate solution if you want gas-powered cleaning with push-button simplicity and low maintenance of an electric motor. It's electric, Mitch. No gas, no emissions. And with a robust induction motor, it delivers professional results you expect. You can find it online at Home Depot, Amazon, Best Buy, Sam's Club, and more. The new E300 line also includes a 2,500 and a 2,700 PSI unit and a 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on the entire machine. This, Mitch, is the answer. If you want a pressure washer for your home, this is it. For more information, go to Karcher.com/US.
Very, very cool. All right, Dr. Frank. Now listen, Dad needs some downtime. He wants to spend some time outside as well. Now he can watch home videos outside.
Absolutely, yeah. I want to preface everything by letting you know that we lost a pioneer recently, a dear friend of mine, Dale Potts, who founded Mirage Vision. That's what we're going to be looking at, and invented the world's first consumer outdoor TV in 2004. Unbelievable. Mike Campagna, an industry vet, acquired the company in 2024 and continues the Mirage Vision legacy. In our video, you will see Dale on the left and Mike on the right. What you're seeing here is a 15,000 square foot, $12 million luxury home. And Mitch, look at that, 203-inch video walls going up. Yeah, imagine a 203-inch TV in your home. Unbelievable. And the thing that's amazing, you'll see as they're developing this entire theater, look at that picture. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it is really. And they did it outside as well. The home was featured in the St. George, Utah Parade of Homes with both indoor and outdoor installations. Now let's move outdoor. Perfect for the patio, deck, backyard, or pool. It's the brightest outdoor TV available. Now listen to this, Mitch. They'll make it any size you want, which is amazing. So if you want to get a 10% off for Father's Day, go to their website, and the code is FATHER26 for a 10% savings. For more information, go to MirageVision.com.
Thank you, Dr. Frank. This and so much more information on our website.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
With soccer taking center stage this summer, the official nutrition partner of U.S. Soccer is helping fuel athletes and families. Here's registered dietitian Chelsea LeBlanc with more.
With all eyes on soccer this summer, I'm so excited to be partnering with Chobani, the official nutrition partner of U.S. Soccer, to share easy snacks that help fuel athletes and families both on and off the field. Chobani's Feed the Dream initiative is all about supporting and empowering the next generation, because when people unite around something bigger, the impact reaches far beyond the field. Through Feed the Dream, Chobani is championing nutrition through partnerships with players like Weston McKennie, Anthony Robinson, Christian Pulisic, Sophia Wilson, and Lindsay Horan-Heaps. They've also developed a practical nutrition guide for coaches to help young athletes fuel their bodies, play strong, and stay healthy, which I love as a dietitian. Chobani Greek yogurt and Greek yogurt drinks are portable, protein-packed options that work great for practices, tournaments, or quick snacks on the go. And here's the really exciting part. Chobani is also investing $5 million to help grow the next generation of soccer in America by sponsoring 500 local youth soccer teams nationwide. Teams could win up to $10,000 prize package that includes funding and equipment to help support young athletes both on and off the field. And nutrition matters for adults too. These high protein options are great for busy summer days because protein supports muscle recovery and helps you stay satisfied longer, making them an easy breakfast or grab and go snack. From fan zones at U.S. soccer matches to retail pop ups nationwide, Chobani will be sharing products all summer long, bringing quality nutrition directly to communities and fans. Chobani is also partnering with U.S. men's national team players on their Feed the Dream recipe series. This is Weston McKinney's chocolate espresso smoothie made with Chobani 20-gram protein vanilla Greek yogurt. It's packed with protein and a fun way to fuel up before or after summer activities. To learn more about youth soccer contests, athlete recipes, or any of Chobani's Feed the Dream initiatives, scan the QR code on Chobani's limited edition packaging or visit chobani.com/soccer.
Well, for millions of Americans, every day is a balancing act. This month, one company wants to celebrate the joy that can be found in that journey. Here's more.
Comfort Keepers, a leading provider of in-home care for seniors and adults in need of assistance, is celebrating their 8th annual National Day of Joy this month. It takes place each year on the last Wednesday of June and was established to encourage and inspire individuals to find joy in the everyday moments.
The theme this year is joy between generations, which I think is fantastic because we are definitely multi-generational society. We found that finding joy is important for maintaining physical and mental health, as well as improving overall well-being. We established the National Day of Joy 8 years ago as a holiday to deliver joy, positivity, and elevate the human spirit.
This year, National Day of Joy comes with new research, a survey of 2,000 Americans in what's known as the sandwich generation, adults who are simultaneously raising children and caring for aging parents. 96% say family is the most important thing in their lives.
There is something so beautiful about having grandparents and grandchildren come together. What we see is that grandparents start to feel a better sense of relevancy and interaction with their grandkids. And that's why it is so important to celebrate things like the National Day of Joy that Comfort Keepers has created. Because for the sandwich generation, there are beautiful, wonderful memories to be developed with both our children as well as our older parents.
The survey set out to explore not just the struggles of caregiving, but the joy that comes with it as well. 92% say it brings both joy and emotional strain, yet 73% wouldn't choose to take on less responsibility.
Joy is found in not huge grand gestures, but sometimes the everyday moments, such as a shared meal, a conversation, listening to music together, things that bring the generations closer together and help create new lasting memories.
69%, though, say they need more support when caring for an aging parent, and 85% agree that greater access to in-home care would make a meaningful, positive difference.
One of the great things about bringing in a home care professional like Comfort Keepers is that certainly it's going to help us take care of our older loved one, but at the same time, we also get some help as well, which is just as crucial. So, really, two lives are benefiting from having that extra support, that extra help. It really gives us more of those precious moments while also helping us with taking care of ourselves.
For more information or to participate in the National Day of Joy, they encourage you to visit comfortkeepers.com/Day of Joy and share your Day of Joy activity on social media using hashtag National Day of Joy.
Summerween is turning Halloween into a summer party trend. Here to help get the party started are the Crafty Lumberjacks. Welcome to Dennis and Andrew. Okay, guys, where should we start when getting ready for this fun event?
Yes, you know, I'm a pretty thrifty guy, so I always like to embellish things that I already have at home. Take all your summer decor and your Halloween decor and mash it up. That's what I love about Cricut Joy Extra and Maker 4, is that you can customize and personalize just about anything you can think of, just like we did here at the table. These machines make it easy to use vinyl, cardstock, iron-on, so even beginners can create polished details that are going to elevate your Summerween celebration.
So what is something party planners might overlook?
Some things party planners might overlook is that those small details and those personalized details can really make a big impact. Think things like decorated straws or table scatter here. It might seem minor, but they kind of elevate your whole party.
Yes, and tools like Cricut Joy Extra and Maker 4 with Cricut Design Space and guided flows help simplify crafting and really take you step by step. So no matter your craft level, you are in good hands. And what's really great is you can do all this ahead of time, super easy, so once your guests come, you can really relax.
And where can we go for more information?
You can find more information about Cricut at Cricut.com for ready-to-make summer-ween projects and everything crafty.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to post this information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson.
A woman discovers that her best friend is secretly an assassin. After a hit goes wrong, they go on the run while being targeted by a mysterious enemy, forcing them to confront the secrets the two share between them. This is today's must-watch series, Ride or Die.
Since the day we met,
You okay?
I knew we would be best friends. Judith, there is a terrible haircut. Whose is it? You'll see it, but just don't look at it.
I found it so moving.
Here's to new adventures. Yeah.
I still have my glove. Oh my God! Why are they shooting at us? Why do you have a gun? Take the wheel. What the hell? Deb, I'm an assassin. I kill terrible people for money. What if I did it for free? I'd be a serial killer. Who are these people? Your husband stole millions from the mob. Now they're after you. Please just trust me.
Trust you.
You guys are bringing really bad vibes.
These passports look so real. Oh my God, it's British. Can you do a British accent? Hello, Governor. Would you like a spot of tea?
Probably
Don't
less
speak,
is
I reckon.
more. These aren't small-time thugs.
I can protect myself.
She's the most important thing in the world to me.
Make a choice. Your friend or this organization.
We're going to steal your car.
So sorry, sir.
What are you doing? We have to get off now. You mean get off? You mean jump? You can do this. I'm alive. I just jumped from a moving train and I'm alive. Yes, oh.
I love both those ladies. They're
There you
terrific.
go. Female buddy
Yeah.
films, loving that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We love you being our buddy. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, for more information, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Be good, everybody.
Bye-bye.